Breaking news! Tomorrow, $1,900 Social Security payments will hit millions of bank accounts. But here's the catch. Only certain people will receive them. Are you on the list? And did you know the government has been borrowing, or should we say stealing, billions from Social Security for decades? How is that even possible? And what does it mean for your future benefits? Stay with us, because today we're exposing the shocking truth behind these payments and what Congress isn't telling you. You're going to learn not just who qualifies for these $1,900 checks, but also how Social Security funds are being used in ways that might surprise you. Plus, we'll reveal what lawmakers are really saying about fixing the system and why some believe it's already too late. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Welcome to Financial Area, where we bring you the latest updates that impact your wallet. If you appreciate clear and honest breakdowns of complex issues like Social Security, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Let's dive in. Let's get into the details of tomorrow's highly anticipated Social Security payments. So, who's actually receiving these checks? Here's the key. If your birthday falls between the 11th and 20th of any month, you're on the schedule for November 20th. It's part of the regular distribution system Social Security uses to stagger payments based on birth dates, something not everyone realizes. And here's another thing you might not know. The average payment amount this time is around $1,900. Of course, this varies depending on your individual benefits, which are calculated based on your earnings history. But for millions of Americans, this check represents a crucial lifeline, especially with rising living costs. Now, the timing isn't random either. Social Security sticks to a consistent schedule, which means recipients can plan their budgets around these payments. With November 20th just hours away, many people will finally see the deposit hit their accounts tomorrow morning. What does this mean for you? That depends, and we're about to unpack even more about how these benefits work and what's next for Social Security. Stay with us. Here's where things get even more complicated. Beyond tomorrow's payments lies a much larger issue. Did you know the government has been borrowing from Social Security trust funds for decades? This money isn't just sitting in a vault somewhere. It's being used for other federal programs. The promise is that these funds will be repaid with interest, but that's where the cracks start to show. Critics don't just call this borrowing, they call it stealing. Why? Because when funds are diverted, it creates a cycle of dependency on future revenues to make up the shortfall. And as repayments stack up, the strain on Social Security grows. Think about it. These trust funds were meant to secure retirements, not to patch up unrelated budget holes. And this isn't just speculation, the numbers tell the story. Experts warn that if nothing changes, the Social Security trust funds could run out within the next decade. When that happens, the program will be able to pay only about 77% of scheduled benefits, leaving millions of Americans facing reduced income. So what's being done about it? That's where things get even more contentious. And it's a conversation every Social Security recipient and future retiree needs to be paying attention to. Now, let's turn to the voice that's sparking outrage. Representative Graves. His recent speech in Congress pulled no punches, laying bare the extent of the problem. Graves expressed deep frustration over years of unchecked borrowing from Social Security without proper repayment. And his claims were shocking. $600 to $700 billion already siphoned from Americans' benefits with little accountability. But here's the part that really hits hard. This isn't the end of it. According to the Congressional Budget Office, if no reforms are made, nearly $1 trillion more could be drained from the system over the next decade. That's a staggering number, and it raises serious questions about the future of Social Security. And who's bearing the brunt of this? Graves didn't hesitate to point fingers at the impact on everyday heroes: firefighters, teachers, police officers, and other public servants. These are the people who dedicate their lives to serving their communities, yet they're being shortchanged in retirement. Graves called for a renewed commitment to fairness, emphasizing that these hardworking individuals deserve respect and a system that keeps its promises. But what's Congress actually doing to fix this? That's the question on everyone's mind, and it's a debate that's only growing more intense. So, what's the next chapter in this unfolding story? All eyes are now on the Social Security Fairness Act. This bill, designed to address the very issues we've been discussing, has already cleared the House. That's no small feat. It shows there's momentum building. But here's the catch. It still needs approval from the Senate to become law. And what makes this moment even more critical is the rare bipartisan support the bill has gained. In today's divided political landscape, seeing both sides come together is a clear sign of how serious these issues have become. But that doesn't mean it's a done deal. The clock is ticking, and here's where the pressure mounts. If the bill isn't passed by December 31st, it will expire altogether. With just weeks left, the question isn't just whether the Senate will act, it's whether they'll act in time. And that urgency has turned this into a race against the calendar, with millions of Americans waiting anxiously to see what happens next. What does all of this really mean for the people who depend on Social Security? At its core, this isn't just about numbers or policies. It's about real lives. Retirees who've worked hard their entire lives and disabled individuals who face daily challenges rely on these payments to survive. For them, even the smallest disruptions can be devastating. But here's where frustrations often boil over. While billions of dollars are sent overseas to fund programs or assist other nations, millions of Americans are left wondering, why isn't more being done to secure the programs they depend on? It's a question that cuts to the heart of this debate. Shouldn't protecting our most vulnerable populations be the highest priority? And for many, it feels like Social Security is caught in a tug-of-war between competing interests. The funds, they argue, aren't just about the numbers. They're a lifeline. That's why these broader implications extend beyond policy. They're about the very promise of support and security that Social Security was meant to deliver. Now that you've heard the details, let's turn it over to you. What's your take on the government borrowing from Social Security? Do you think it's fair, or is it time for Congress to experience firsthand what it's like to live on Social Security benefits? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. And if this update gave you a clearer picture of what's happening with Social Security, don't forget to show your support. Hit that like button and subscribe to Financial Area for the latest updates and insights. Together, we can stay informed and keep the conversation going. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. First, the exciting news. $900 payments are hitting accounts tomorrow, November 20th, for eligible recipients. Then we dove into the deeper challenges surrounding Social Security, from government borrowing practices to the funding shortfalls threatening its future. We also highlighted the Social Security Fairness Act, a potential lifeline now in the Senate's hands. Change might feel slow, but staying informed and engaged is the first step. Stay hopeful, and let's keep pushing for the solutions that matter most. Thank you for tuning in to Financial Area. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for all the latest updates.